This is my YouTube presentation about effective communication. I'm Rob, and I will be guiding you through this for the next 7 minutes. So it's meditation time. I want you to close your eyes and think about a world with no communication. Really think about this one. Can you think of a world without communication? Really think about it. It's hard to picture that place, isn't it? I can't. That's how everything gets done in the world, through communication. It would probably be a world of disorder and chaos, especially in the workplace. Businesses would crumble, the economy would crumble, the world would just be in shambles. We need effective communication in order to have that perfect world. Because who wants to live in a world of chaos? I don't. You might. Whatever floats your boat. We need to have order in the workplace for employers and employees to come together in harmony so everything runs as smoothly as possible. As companies begin to advertise to more and more people all over the world, effective communication becomes an essential part of business. As businesses go from America to the Middle East, we need to be able to know how to communicate with those people and know their customs. Because if we don't, how are we going to make money? Let's start with the building block of effective communication itself. You may ask, what is communication? Well, I have a definition for you. It's the passing of information from one person to another. Well, simple enough. Now that we know that, we can understand effective communication. Effective communication is that same process, but the message is received and understood in the way the sender intended it to be. So the person that is getting the message cannot take it any other way, such as like innuendos or anything like that. Nothing can be misconstrued or yeah. Um, Say a manager is trying to correct the actions of an employee that never comes back from their break on time. It's all happened. Everyone comes back from break late sometimes, and some people just don't care, but this manager decided, hey, let's confront this person. The manager is firm in their convictions about what they need to say to this person. They've thought about it, they've gotten angry, and finally they're like, hey, let's do something. They ask the employee why they come back from break so late all the time. The employee's shocked when he gets asked this, but okay. The employee says they don't have a watch or cell phone. Maybe the cell phone broke. Maybe they just don't have one, they can't afford it. Not everyone has a watch. No one feels necessary to always have one. So they just come back whenever they feel like it's been a half hour or whatever. The manager says that they need to buy a watch and come back on time or they will be written up. Well, this is their warning. Being written up next is what usually happens, and I don't think the employee wants to really get written up, which could lead to being fired. So buying a watch is the simplest way to keep out of trouble, and the cheapest, because if you get fired, oh well, you're out of luck. The employee agrees to all this, they settle the dispute, everyone goes on with their day, happily ever after. Looking at that same scenario, we can make it so it's not effective communication and the employee takes the employer's message the wrong way. So let's say the employee still has no watch or cell phone. Okay. The manager says, I'll give you something that will make you come back on time. That kind of sounds like a threat, like the employer is going to hit the person, something like that. Now, that comment can be taken many different ways. The way I see it, the way you see it, the way someone else sees it is all different. The employee can take that as a threat, or someone even walking by can take that as a threat, especially if they're in the middle of the kitchen and this person is being talked to. So the manager can get in trouble, be taken down to HR. HR really doesn't like to deal with this stuff, even though it's their job. That was not effective communication by definition. By changing only a few words, you can turn a harmless situation into a human resources nightmare. And God forbid you get on their bad side. That was just one form of communication right there. There can be one sender to one receiver, many senders to one receiver, one sender to many receivers, and many senders to many receivers, blah, 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 blah. When you get to scenarios like those, you need to be educated in effective communication, because if one person takes your message the wrong way, that can mean everyone can take your message the wrong way, or that one person can talk to other people and it just be a nightmare. It could also cost the company money, which can cost you your job. Companies like to have people who know how to communicate effectively so they don't happen to have a lawsuit with anyone or something like that. Companies want to hire people that know how to write and communicate effectively. Those people save the company from all the negative press, negative so on and so forth. They are the dream team for the company, though that is the backbone. As the world market changes, people change. People have become more sensitive now, so the way you communicate needs to be appropriate for everyone all over the world. We need to be able to understand one another and to be able to hold conversations. We need to be able to do business transactions. If I want to open up a hotel chain in Europe and Asia, I need to be able to effectively communicate with those groups of people. I need to be able to understand their customs and the ways they act. If I cannot master those two things, I will be out of business and on the street, which really sucks, but what can you do? So, as you can see, the world is an ever-changing place in the world of business and hospitality. We need to be able to understand one another in order to make our businesses survive, which is what everyone wants to do. With effective communication, we can make that happen and more. Now let's go back to the world without communication. Close your eyes again. Imagine that place. After hearing all of this, maybe your opinion has changed. I don't know. I can't read minds. We can see exactly why now that it is impossible to survive without communication. There weren't many real-world articles about this online, so I combined two different short articles and made my own real-world situation, which can happen in any company at any time. Effective communication really is the backbone of companies. That's how they survive. It is how people are trained, disciplined, encouraged, hired, and fired.